Good morning. Thank you for joining me. Have you ever wondered what spirit is doing while you're doing things here on earth? Are they doing something over the other side? Are they busy? Are they keeping themselves entertained? Does that cross your mind? Because there is no time on the other side. No such thing. It is just space. It's only us here on earth that we put time to things. Like if you felt a relative of yours has passed away, if you felt them near you around a certain time, and then you didn't feel anything for months, and all of a sudden you felt them again, for you, it feels like it's been months since they visited you. But for them, it feels like yesterday. There is no time to them. And I know from when I did my past life regression that at one point when I had lived a life here on earth and I died, and then when I came back, there was 400 years, earth years, before I was back in a physical body. Was I wandering around for 400 years? I don't believe there is that concept of time there like we try to understand here. And I know, because we're all connected. So, you know, when someone first passes away, when they've first passed over and you're in that grieving period, this might be someone who's close to you or someone who you've just heard about who's just died, but they're in your mind. You can't get them out of your mind. And even between the point of when they've passed to when their funeral is, in that space, they're just, everything you do in your day, they're there. It's like, are you processing their death? Are you thinking to yourself, wow, they're not here anymore and I'm still here? And you're thinking about the people that love them and what they're feeling. So what you're doing is you're connecting into the energy of that life that was lived and feeling the energy of everybody else that's also remembering that life that was lived. You're connected to all that energy together. You're feeling the grief of other people. And because you're constantly thinking about the person that's passed away, their energy is very, very close to you. And you'll notice that when, let's say someone that was in your family that passed away 30 years ago, like a long time ago, when they first passed, you thought of them a lot. Like the first few months after their passing, they were constantly in your mind. And then as time went on, you maybe only thought of them on a special day, like a birthday or Christmas or the anniversary of their passing. And as 30 years have passed, you don't think of them as often. And because you're not thinking of them as often, their energy is not around you as often because you're not connecting to them. And then all of a sudden, they can just appear. You might have just had a dream about them or you're reminiscing about something and all of a sudden their energy is back there again because you've started thinking about it. You've opened that connection again. So can you sort of understand how we're constantly connected to energy? I noticed when I had passed over and I could feel all of my sons at exactly the same time. I could feel what they were thinking at exactly the same time. So when somebody has passed, they can, let's say it was a father, at the same time he would feel what his wife was feeling, what his children were feeling, what his siblings were feeling. He can feel them all at exactly the same time. And when somebody's more stuck in that energy, more thinking about them constantly, they will be more gravitated toward that person because it's like a feeling of they want to comfort those that are here on earth. They want to bring love to those here on earth. They're trying to help bring that loving energy to you so that you don't have to continually go through feeling lost without them. I also notice, like, because we're so connected, I've mentioned this before, when I'm going to do a reading, someone's going to contact me for a reading to connect with a relative. A few days before that person contacts me, their relative is already here in the house. Their spirit is here, and I'll just walk around and I'll look across the room and I'll see a male or a female, and I get roughly the age. I don't know their name or anything. I just get this kind of feeling of the person that was alive, and I think to myself, well, in a few days someone's going to buy a reading to connect with their loved one, and it'll be that person. It happens every single time. So how does that spirit know that their relative is going to contact me? Because we're all connected, so that they see the future. They see everything in the future, because there is no time. There's no past, present, future. It's just what it is. So that they know that their relative is thinking about them and their relative wants some answers. They know their relative's going to find me somehow. So they come here. They're always here for about 2 or 3 days before the relative actually contacts me. And it's the same when one of my children, maybe they've lost a friend in a car accident, a young person. Before I've even heard about the accident, I will see a spirit in the house of that young person, and then one of the kids will tell me that one of their friends had passed away, but their spirit has already come here. I don't feel like the spirit comes here because they need to connect with me or I have to solve any problems. I feel like the spirit just comes because my children are thinking about them. My children are connected to their energy, and it's my children that are going through the shock and the grief of losing somebody. So that spirit is just, their energy is around, and I'm just tapping into it. So yeah, if you ever think to yourself, what are they doing on the other side, like it's like Earth, it doesn't, the timing doesn't matter to them at all. And like quite often we get anxious, we get right to the point of something going to happen, and we're thinking, we get a little bit desperate on Earth, like this has to happen right now. It has to happen right now because I'm getting desperate. And you reach out to your guides or to your loved ones and say, please help me right now. I really need help right now. Because they can see so far ahead and they already know it's all going to work out for you, they don't feel that urgency like you do. Your urgency comes from, I can't see how this is going to rectify itself, or I can't figure out how, our human ego brain wants to figure stuff out and wants to have the answers, and if we don't have the answers, we're calling out, and they just know everything's going to work out. It always works out. It always did in the past, and it always will again. So they don't feel that urgency like we feel the urgency, only because they can see it's going to be okay. So yeah, if you've ever thought about that, what are they doing over there? I guess the way I feel it is they are with us, they are with people that are in need, they are with their soul family. They may also be going through working out when they come back on this earth again, what lessons they're going to take next time. Because I know when I was taken into that hall of knowledge, the room of knowledge, when I had died, there was spirit energies in there, like studying, like learning. So, is there a universe with a university where you're learning on the other side as well before you come back here? So yeah, interesting topic. And yeah, someone mentioned something to me the other day about, they wondered what their relative was doing on the other side, like, were they busy like they were on Earth? And I think it's a little bit different. They're not actually busy like we are, because they're so peaceful and time doesn't matter to them. But yeah, interesting topic, and thanks again for listening to me.